and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. Two suspects sought after pride flags set on fire during break and enter at Stony Creek School. Federal government drops ads on Facebook, Instagram as Meta promises to block news. Man who died after Oakville apartment fire may have jumped to escape police. Police arrest women found asleep at the wheel in Markham with two loaded guns, meth, fentanyl. Forecasted to feel like 40 degrees across Ontario, Quebec as heat wave continues. Two motorcyclists killed in single vehicle collision this week in Peterborough. These were the headlines, and let's jump right into the details. A man found below the site of an apartment fire in Oakville may have jumped nearly a dozen stories to escape the flames before he died, police said. Emergency crews responded to a fire in a unit on the 11th floor of a complex on Queen Mary Drive near Lakeshore Road, West and Kerr Street at 5:40 a.m. on Wednesday, police said. Constable Ryan Anderson, a media officer with the Halton Regional Police Service, said an adult male was located on the grass outside the building. He was transported to hospital but was later pronounced dead. Images from the scene show one of the apartment building's unit windows burnt out and shattered. Several stories below, police state can be seen surrounding a number of items strewn around on the ground outside the complex. Police said the fire was contained to a single unit and that they are not aware of any other injuries. The cause of the fire is unknown at this time and no other details about the deceased have been released. The office of the fire marshal has arrived at the scene as an investigation into the incident in conjunction with Halton Police gets underway. Hamilton police have released a video of two people suspected of stealing a pride flag and setting it on fire during a break and enter at the Stony Creek School last month. The video was released on Wednesday with a request from police for the public's help in identifying the suspects wanted in the June 29 incident, which occurred at an elementary school in the area of Mud Street West and First Road West. The video shows two people getting off a vehicle believed to be a black Nissan Rogue. Police said the suspects also attempted to gain entry into sea containers from a nearby construction site. The first suspect is described as a white man with a thin build. In a video, he's wearing a red hooded sweater, black track pants, and black shoes. The other male suspect also has a thin build and was last seen donning a gray hooded sweater, gray track pants, and black shoes. Police are asking anyone who can identify the suspects or has information about the incident to contact Hate Crime Unit investigators at 905-546-5511 or Crime Stoppers anonymously at 1-800-222-8477. A one-of-a-kind trading card has just been found by someone in Toronto, and it might just be the card owner's most precious find. The One Ring is a collectible card created for the tabletop deck building game Magic the Gathering (MTG) as part of the recently released collection honoring the Lord of the Rings series. What makes this particular card so special, the one trading card that debatably rules them all, is that it is only one to be printed in the Black Speech of Sauron using Tengwar letter forms, which is one of the J.R.R. Tolkien's fictional languages in the hit series. Gaming companies worldwide have publicly declared bounties to become the bearers of the One Ring. Dave & Adam's Card World, a New York-based collectible shop, placed a US $1 million bounty, or roughly $1.3 million Canadian, for the card, while Spanish-based store Gremio de Dragons offered 2 million euros, roughly $2.9 million Canadian. So who found the card? The card owner has chosen to remain anonymous, but in a statement to Awaz News provided by marketing and PR firm Notable Group, they say the person is a 36-year-old cashier and forklift operator living in Toronto. The elusive trading card bearer said he has been playing MTG ever since he was a kid. While he kicked the habit when he went to the university, he says he picked it back up a few years ago, and I'm so glad I did. He said he had pre-ordered the collector's box and was set to pick it up on June 17. When he saw the card, he said he was in complete disbelief. You can just feel its significance. Few knew the One Ring was drawn in mid-June including Maximum Cards and Collectibles co-owners James Hammond, who told Awaz News he found out through the card owner's cousin the following day, as he is a regular at the store. Everyone else found out on June 30th after its authentication was announced. Professional Sports Authenticator, the largest third-party grading service according to its website, announced it graded the card that day. The One Ring is found authenticated and now rules them all, PSA said in a tweet. The card was graded a mint 9, which is second highest on the grading scale, meaning it is in superb condition that shows only minor flaws like a minor printing imperfection, for example. He says he plans to sell the card, adding he is still receiving and reviewing offers. It's amazing to see how much joy and wonder this has brought to others in the community, the card owner said. A heat wave delivered punishing conditions across Ontario and Quebec on Wednesday, making it feel like 40 degrees and prompting warnings about heat-related illness. Environment Canada forecasted maximum temperatures in the low 30s and a humidex around 40 as the agency issued heat warnings for large parts of both provinces, following similar conditions on Tuesday. In St. Jamestown, a low-income and diverse neighborhood in Toronto's downtown, Raj Kumar took refuge on a bench outside his apartment. Kumar said he cannot afford an air conditioning unit on his social assistance income, resorting to a small fan to help cool down his apartment. Researchers have repeatedly noted people experiencing homelessness, people with disabilities, the elderly, people of color, and low-income people with little access to air conditioning and living in areas with fewer parks bear the brunt of heat waves. Parts of northern Ontario forecasted to get cooler conditions by Thursday, but Environment Canada said the rest of the province will have to wait until Friday for the heat wave to pass. With overnight temperatures hovering around 20 degrees, offering little relief to the day's stuffy heat, Toronto extended outdoor pool hours to 11:45 p.m. Tuesday at 7 locations. Environment Canada cautioned people to watch for the effects of heat illness such as cramps, fainting, and swelling. Keith Haywood spoke with a friend outside a St. Jamestown apartment complex Wednesday about the lack of air conditioning in his unit. The Ontario Human Rights Commission earlier this year welcomed the provincial government's efforts to clarify tenant rights to install and use air conditioning units. But with climate change, driving temperature increases, and heat waves becoming more common, the Commission called on government to go further and make cooling a vital service for tenants akin to heat, water, and electricity. Police are investigating 2 fatal early morning motorcycle collisions that occurred on consecutive days in Peterborough this week. The first crash happened on Tuesday, according to the Peterborough Police Service. Officers were called to the parkway between Lansdowne Street and the Kingsway just before 4 a.m. for reports of a single vehicle motorcycle collision. The driver was taken to a local hospital before being lifted to a trauma hospital, according to police. On Wednesday, police said that the driver, identified as a 58-year-old man from Blackstock, died of his injuries in hospital. Approximately 24 hours after the first crash, police were called to the area of Clonsilla Avenue and 4th Street just before 4 a.m. on Wednesday for reports of another single-vehicle motorcycle collision. The 27-year-old male driver was thrown from the vehicle and succumbed to his injuries, PPS said in a news release. The Traffic Reconstruction Unit is investigating. The road was reopened about 9:15 a.m. Wednesday. The federal government will stop advertising on Facebook and Instagram, Heritage Minister Pablo Rodriguez announced Wednesday, as tensions rise between the Canadian government and tech giants. The decision came after Meta promised to block Canadian news content on its Facebook and Instagram platforms in response to Canada's recently passed Online News Act. The new law will require tech giants pay media outlets for content they share or otherwise repurpose on their platforms. Rodriguez blasted Meta for choosing not to negotiate with the federal government and instead blocking content for some users as part of a test. He said the federal government spends about $10 million in advertisements on the platforms, which he said will be reinvested in other ad campaigns. Google has also promised to start blocking Canadian news when the bill comes into force in 6 months. But Rodriguez said the government is in talks with the company and believes its concerns will be managed by the regulations that will come to implement the bill. The bill will come into force in just under 6 months, giving the federal government time to decide on how it will proceed with regulations. MPs from the Bloc Québécois and the NDP, which both backed the legislation, joined the Liberal minister at a press conference on Wednesday. Media companies have also begun pulling advertising from some social media platforms and telling readers and viewers how to access news directly. News and telecommunications company Quebecor Inc. announced Wednesday it would immediately withdraw advertising from Meta's Facebook and Instagram platforms. In addition to posting content on Meta's platforms, it has sometimes bought ads on Facebook and Instagram. A Barrie woman was arrested in Markham after she was found asleep at the wheel of an idling pickup truck with 2 loaded handguns as well as various illegal drugs allegedly stashed inside. On Friday at around 8 p.m., York police officers observed a white pickup truck idling behind a business on Bodrington Court. When they approached, they found a woman asleep behind the wheel, police said in a press release. Police say that approximately 80 grams of crystal methamphetamine and 185 grams of fentanyl was also seized. Search warrants were executed in relation to the incident, and additional controlled prescription medication held for the purpose of trafficking was located along with approximately 28 grams of cocaine, the release read. Amanda Yolanda Camacho, 33, is facing a total of 23 charges, including 2 counts of possession of a loaded firearm and possession of the purpose of trafficking various controlled substances. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.